these coaching sessions are focused on your choices, what you choose to create in this time-space reality. And so you do need to have choices, things that you're manifesting. The magnetic mind is about turning thoughts into things and creating your reality. That's what it's about. So it's a very specific program. So each session will work on one of your choices. Now, if you're here, you're brand new, and you don't have your choices yet. You go, Chris, I don't have choices written out. I'm not there. I'm brand new. Well, we have 4 choices that everyone starts with, and these are called the orienting choices, the core orienting choices. They orient you to being a creator, so you can open the wizard's gate and step into the magnetic moment. And these 4 core orienting choices we all choose, and everyone wants to create these. And so someone they already know them. And so here they are. It's a healthy and vibrant body. I choose the end result of a healthy and vibrant body. I choose the end result of living my true nature and purpose. I choose the end result of being the predominant creative force in my life. And the last one is I choose a life I love. And maybe one of the certified coaches or someone could type those in. So if you're brand new and you don't have a choice, choose one of those. And we do say I choose the end result. And the end result is something we choose every day, because every day is a new beginning, and we choose that result. So thanks, Jesse. Thanks, Sarah. Great to see those in there. So that's really great. So if you don't have a choice, you can use those. Or sometimes I hear people just work on the core 4 choices for months, because they really need to work on being able to experience the life they love. So those are called the orienting choices. They you to a new way of being. They orient your life out of problem reality to having it now. And we're going to talk about this today. So that's really important. The next thing is, if you've got questions, we've got 2 emails that you can send in questions. It's far easier than tagging us or messaging us or text messaging. If you need any help at all, email either assist@consciouseducationcompany.com or support@consciouseducationcompany.com. I just wanted to mention those things, just so you know where to send your questions. Now, we've got really exciting times ahead. We are about, well, what's the date today? Is it the 20th? It's the 21st for me. So that means it's 22nd for me, 20th for most of you. In 1 month, we have our next Magnetic Mind event. Now, it's included in the masterclass. It's included. It's a 3-day event. Who's already RSVP'd for that event? Who's already got that? Okay. I hope you have. If not, this is me saying check your email, because you do need to register. The reason why we need you to register is because we don't want to bombard everyone else with messages about, how great was the last session, when you need to come back from meal breaks and things like that. Does that make sense? So we don't want to tell it. If people can't make it, they can't make it. There is a month to get yourself ready. Now, my suggestion is take it like it's a physical, real event. Each day there'll be 5 hours of time with me, coaching, immersing yourself in all the work that we're doing. And then there'll be breakout rooms where you will be able to get yourself connected with other people. Now, if you're brand new, you might not have got an email about it yet, but you will. You will get an email, and you will be told where to go. So that's coming up. Does that sound really good? So actually, I think Sarah and Mia and others from the team are on here. Let's just double check that all people who have just joined are getting the emails about the event as well. That would be brilliant. So look, we're going to double check that you're getting them. Okay. So it's a really great event, and we run it 4 times a year. So no stress if you can't make it, but this one's extra special. Okay. It's extra special, and it's because we are launching the book that everyone has been waiting for on the 4th of May. So May the 4th be with you. It's Star Wars Day. That's when we're releasing the book. The book's called, you guys want, I'll show you a little bit of a sneak peek into the book and explain why it's so important to me. Those of you who've been in the group for a while know that I worked on this book for about a year. So there's the book cover. You're Not Broken, the 5 steps to become super conscious and activate your magic. And this book's going to change the world. It's just going to change the world. Some people have already some of my certified coaches have already been given pre-release access to the manuscript, and lucky them. And I'm very grateful for everyone giving me reviews and everything else. That will come out on May the 4th. Now, the reason why I'm telling you is for this event that's coming up, we are going to allow all your friends and family to be able to sit in on the event for $1.99. The cost of buying the ebook is their entry ticket to come spend 3 days with us. Now, you guys, being masterclass students, being in the Magnetic Mind, you're the only ones that will get the Zoom link. Okay, so you'll be on Zoom, you'll ask questions with me, we'll be interacting. Everyone else, if they buy the ebook in the launch week for $1.99, they get the whole book. They will also get a ticket to watch the event. Does that sound great? So we're going to be able to, so next week there'll be an email out, and you can just tell anyone. They only got to spend $2. They get a book. They get a book, and they get to be at the whole event. And so we're launching it as a ebook for the first 2 weeks, and then the physical book will be ready. We will be ready to ship at the end to the second half of May. So after the event, we'll have the physical book ready. We want to do the ebook first, and the reason is we want to have everyone be able to get the ebook and read it and be a part of the event, rather than trying to ship a physical book and people don't get it or blah 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 before the event, because this event's going to be extra special. There's only going to be one time you get to be a part of such a revolutionary launch. You know, like it's a really big thing. This book is it's going to change the personal development industry. I mean, it just calls out all the fuckery, all of the ridiculousness in a lot of the work out there, and really centers people in the truth. So I'm really proud of it. And all of you that are certified, this gets to become your book too, and be a part of this work. So watch out for that email next week. Anyone will be able to get a second tier ticket, and they'll be able to sit and watch the event. But only those of you in the masterclass will actually be on Zoom. Zoom's got a limit of about 1,000 people, so only you guys will be allowed to be on. There's a month until the event, and so you've got loads of time to be able to organize, whatever you need to organize so you can be there with us. So I just wanted to take that moment. If you haven't got an email, the only reason that you haven't got an email is because you joined in the last few days, and it just hasn't ticked over to send you one yet. Does that make sense, everyone? Yeah. Cool. Someone got an Airbnb so they can be away from the kids and enjoy it. Nice. So thanks for letting me do some tribe announcements. It's a very big deal, and I'll be very thrilled for all of your help to get this out to as many people as possible, because I truly believe that we have the missing piece for most people to create a life they love. And wouldn't it just be great to have a world full of people just being creative geniuses, just being creative geniuses and living from their hearts and living from their truth and creating a life they love. And that's the end result that I'm in. So I'm in the end result of creating that. So we're going to actually use the book a bit today, and we're going to cover how we can create ineffective choices. This is a big thing. Last week I had multiple conversations with my team that was frustrating because of being in reaction to current circumstances and not in creation. And so when you're creating, you're not doing it to get away from something, fix something. There's no other reason to create other than that is what you want to have. The difficulty is, for our whole life, we have only been told to create something based on solving a experience, condition, circumstance that we're not happy about. Does that mean we're not happy about something, so we should do something about it? It's like we wait for there to be a problem to fix it. And then we learn that's how we should create. And that's the reason. And the conditioning is throughout all of society. Everywhere in society, we are fighting things. We are fighting things. And let's really step into that. If our governments were really in the end result of creating super healthy human beings, wouldn't they be handing out vitamins and improving our immune system as much as possible, rather than waiting for something to turn up and then going, oh, this is really bad, now we need a vaccine? Isn't it true? Like, if they were truly creating healthy, happy humans, there would be different things. If we were truly in creating and creating peace instead of fighting wars, we'd be doing different things. It's obvious to me anyway. The world isn't in creation. The world's in problem solving. Now, the challenge with problem solving, as soon as you observe the problem, it now exists. Okay? You are a creative energy. Does that make sense? You are a creative spirit. You are a creative energy. As soon as you observe something, it exists. It exists. And then if you then say, well, I want to have this something, you have got two things that are fighting each other. For example, it's like if you drop two stones into a pond. You drop two stones into a pond, they're going to create two different ripples. Now, if you're lucky, those ripples will be perfectly in phase, and they will perfectly match, and they will just make an amazing big wave in low troughs, and it will all work. But most of the time, there's going to be some sort of crossing out, because they both have to exist in the universe. That's why problem solving is such a challenge, because as soon as the problem is observed, it exists. It exists. And anything you create to get away or to solve that problem is always connected to the problem. It's always connected to the problem. So let's examine some very ineffective ways that all of us on this call have created choices and end results that have not worked. Okay, and so this is from page 203 in my book, and I will show you a little bit here. The first one is to resolve a negative belief. Resolve a negative belief. The first way that we create ineffective choices is we want to resolve a negative belief about ourselves. Now, this is a very, very, very sneaky, it's a very sneaky ability of the self-conscious, because the self-conscious is actually rooted or created in an idea that we're limited. And as it becomes limited, as it comes and falls from grace, it falls from the complete all and becomes limited. As it falls to become limited, in that limitation, it decides what it is and what it isn't. So it decides how the world is and what's important. Typically, there are 6 core negative beliefs that a self-conscious ego orientation is trying to resolve. Okay, the first one is not worthy. The ego, the self-conscious, believes that I'm not worthy. So what happens if someone orients from a self-belief of I'm not worthy, instead of going for what they would truly love in their life, they go for things to become worthy. of having what they would love. The way that I see this manifest the most is when someone decides they must do lots of good in the world for others. I must do lots of good in the world for others. And they believe deep down that if they do enough good, then they'll get given what they want. Now, this happened in childhood. If they were good, they were rewarded by either not being abused or told off. They were rewarded with silence, or they might have been rewarded with a present or attention. So they decided, as long as I be good and help and do things that are worthy, if I'm worthy, then I get what I want. And what happens is they get very disappointed. This person ends up resenting the people that they help. Who knows someone like this? They help everyone else, and then they're like, but why am I not getting what I want out of life? I just help everyone. You see? But you see the weird belief that they have? They say, if I help everyone, then magically someone else is going to help me. But the problem is, this person never feels worthy of other people's help anyway. They are the helper. It's the hardest person to help is the person that helps others. And so they spend their whole life giving, wondering why they're not getting. Who knows someone like that, by the way? They're like, but I've helped so many people. Why am I not rich? Because money needs you to ask for it. You see? That's why, because you're not doing a money thing. You're doing just a helping thing, which is a beautiful thing to do, but don't expect to do this to get that. I've helped all these people. Now, why is no one helping me? Well, there's no rule that because you help them, they should come around and help you. And so this person ends up becoming resentful and doesn't create what they love. And so just examine some of your choices. Am I going for what I love, or am I trying to prove how worthy I am so I can finally have it? Interesting. The next one is I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. The person who doesn't believe that they're not good enough, they try to focus on their achievements and on work. So instead of focusing on other people, they focus on look at what I can do. Look at what I can do. Look at my achievements. Look how good I am at school. Look how good I am at sport. Look how good I am at art. Look how good I am. And the person who believes they're not good enough, they're not going for what they love, that they're doing something to everyone go, wow, you are good. So they don't actually let anyone see them. They only let people see their work. They only let people see their work. And this person can, is very much the Western hero at the moment, but they're very empty inside. They're very empty inside. Everyone goes, wow, look at that big business you made. Look at that. You're a great actor or a great musician. Look at that. But they never get seen for them. What they really would love is, maybe to have a happy family and to connect to themselves. But they keep thinking that they need to have work that is seen by others. Does that make sense? They feel I'm not good enough as a human. I need to have my work put up and it needs to be out there. I'm not good enough. So they're not going for what they love. And so then what happens is they're so empty inside, they're not having what they really want. And they get very disappointed that, they get the Academy Award and then they go, oh, well, now what do I do? And we see a lot of these overachievers be very unhappy. They didn't actually want that. They were doing it for the admiration of other people. Does that make sense? They're only doing it, working the amazing, crazy hours for the admiration of other people. The third way that we're dysfunctional creators is we have a belief of I don't belong. I don't belong. This orientation is very, 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 very scared of abandonment and rejection. Abandonment and rejection. So when they create, they first think, well, what if I get abandoned or rejected by doing that? And so they won't go for anything that risks that. They won't go for anything that risks it, including they might stay single for a long time because it's much safer to have an imaginary relationship. They might spend a long time thinking about releasing their art or their work, but not actually releasing it or ever finishing it because it's safer. You can't get rejected if it's in your mind or it's never completed or never finished. And so they never have what they want because they at their core, they feel like they don't belong. Sometimes this person, was moved between countries at an early age, or different schools, or might have been overlooked. They feel as though they were always trying to find, their place. Does that make sense? It's like, where do I fit? How do I fit into this world? And so that they're very concerned with being judged or rejected or anything like that. And so can you see how, because of that, they don't go for what they love? Maybe they want to release their view. They will never go against what their tribe says is the right way. Does that make sense? They never will go against what their tribe says is the right way. If their tribe says, that this is the right way to be, it is too scary for them to challenge that. So they won't go for what they love. They'll edit it. If they come from a family of bankers and they want to be a life coach, or they just want to be a surfer in Hawaii, they're not allowed to do that. The rejection's too strong, so they don't go for what they love. They just do what they need to do to belong. They just need to do what they need to do to belong. So that's the first three. These are in no specific order, by the way. The next one is a feeling of being insignificant. Number 4, insignificant. I'm insignificant. This person, this orientation, rather than going for what they love, they want to be seen. They're trying to be seen. They always feel overlooked, not picked, neglected, not seen. So they feel insignificant. There's 2 ways that this person orients in their life. One, they have no goals. Because they're insignificant, to have goals would mean that they were significant. Does that make sense? They go, I don't really want anything, Chris. I'm happy. I don't want to do anything. So, one of the questions say, well, why not just give up life then? Why not just give up life? What are you here to create? I don't really need anything, they say. The other way is they're striving so much to be seen as significant. To be seen. They were really, they want to be significant. This person wants to be the best-selling author rather than to write an amazing book. Do you guys know the difference between someone who wants to be seen as amazing versus someone who actually is really in the work? Very, very different. Very different. Very different. So these are 4. Who's learning something today? Who's revising it? Is it good? Number 5 is I need to be perfect. I need to be perfect. I'm not perfect, and there's a way to be perfect. The I'm not perfect person sees themselves as broken, and there's a way to achieve perfection. They're usually very rigid, very unchanging in their ideals, very focused on there is a right way and a wrong way to be. There is a right way and a wrong way to be. And they're not focused on what they love. They're focused on being right. This is the right way to be. This is the holy way. This is the rightest way to be. What's interesting is both Gandhi and Hitler were oriented in that belief. One, amazing, this is the right way to be. One, the worst you could be. But both in the same. Does that make sense? This is the right way. The person who truly believes in the right way, they will do everything to do the right way. They won't go for what they love. There's a right way it's supposed to be, and that's it. Controlling right way. They're typically very nearsighted as well, because they only want to focus on what's right. So there's a lot of times it's like, this is the right way. It must be very organized, precise. This is right, that is wrong. This is right, that is wrong. And they will stick to what's right above everything. They will do what's right before they go and do what they love. And if it's right to stay in a marriage, even if you're not in love, that's what they'll do, and they'll be happy about that. Does that make sense? So they're not going for what they love because of the dysfunctional belief. And the last one is I'm not capable, or I'm not allowed to be capable. Not allowed. Either they are I'm not capable or I'm not allowed to be capable. Someone who's not allowed to be capable always believes that there is something outside of them that they need to fill them up to be able to achieve what they want. For example, this person never has enough time. They always say, I don't have enough time to do that. Say, I don't have what I need to have to create. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't know enough people. I don't have enough knowledge. So what happens is this person, instead of going for what they want, goes to get resources, and the idea that if they had enough time or money or knowledge or people, then they can go and achieve. They're not allowed to go and have what they love the way they are. They're not able to, not capable. There's something, they end up being very smart, and going for a lot of things, but they go the wrong way. So those are the 6 main ones. Now, we all orient from different ones at different times, don't we? Don't we? You can be all of them, but there'll be 1 or maybe 2 that really stick out. It's going, oh wow, that's actually what I'm doing. And when you can sit and acknowledge when you really can know thyself, which is one of the bases of nearly all mystical teachings, religion, mystery schools, everything is to know thyself. When you can truly know yourself, when you can truly know your self-conscious perspective, then you can let them go. Then you can let them go. Would someone, one of my certified coaches, would someone type them all in? Would that be all right? I know someone knows them. There are no specific order, guys, so there's 6 of them. Not worthy, not good enough, not capable, insignificant, need to be perfect, and I don't belong. Top of my head. Those are the 6. So these are, none of these are you being a super conscious creator. Every single time that any of those are being resolved, you are in your self-conscious, limited perspective. And we all do it. We all do it. So today we're going to talk about just letting go of all of those and asking a different question. What would I just love? What would I just love? Because that's a good question. What would I just love? What would I just love without trying to resolve any of those? So that is the first way. That is the first way that we create dysfunction. And I talk about it extensively, in the book. The second way that we create dysfunction is reaction. Reaction. When we react to a circumstance, and that creates our motivation. For example, you go to put on your favorite skinny jeans and they don't quite fit anymore. And you think, right, now it's time for me to go to the gym. Then what happens? You go to the gym for a little bit, lose a little bit of weight, feeling good. The motivation to keep going stops. Put the jeans on, feel good, you stop. And guess what happens? Well, just like the rubber band, it'll pull you right back and you end up with the same problem. You see? Reaction. Someone says, I hate my job. They react and they say, I'm going to start a business. Then they go start a business and they realize a business is just a hard version of a job. You see? It's a long time till you get it successful. They go, that's not what I wanted. But they reacted, you see? They reacted. So reaction is a very hard one to put down because we're always in the current reality. And this is why every day you must reorient to your creations, not your reactions. Because if you react, that what you're trying to get away from is always there. It's the motivator. So as soon as you get a little bit away from it, you got no motivation left. It was the seed of your energy. Does that make sense? It was the fire that lit the action. Many people, businesses, they don't grow to where they need to grow because the only reason for the business was to avoid something. And as soon as that angry boss isn't there anymore, then they suddenly go, well, I'm not that motivated for this thing anymore. Do I even really want it? Rather than truly being in the end result of creating an amazing thing. You see, truly creating an amazing body, truly creating an amazing relationship, rather than just going, I hate this one, I'm going to jump into that one. You see, react. Or one that was present on our intuition call earlier, which is I can't be alone. I can't be alone. Alone sucks. So I'm going to react to that, and I'm just going to jump into a relationship because I'm scared of the alone thing. I can't be by myself. And so they react, and the reaction ties you into it. Does that make sense? So that's number 2, reaction. So number 1 was avoiding a negative belief. Number 2 is reaction. Reaction. The third way that we actually create very ineffectively is limitation. Limitation. So limitation is not is when you go for something and you limit its success. You don't go for the true end result. You say things like, oh, that just enough, or that will do, or you say things that lose the truth. When you limit the truth, you say, oh, you take all the energy out of it. Now, limitation can sometimes get confused with specificity. Specificity is when you're very specific on what you want, like this is as you want it. Limitation is when you actually want something bigger, but you claim that you only want this. You say you want an amazing life experience or whatever it is, but then you say, well, if I could just have that, just that. And the problem is when you limit what you truly want, when you edit your true heart desire, there's no energy in the limited. You know, instead of being in the true end result of an amazing relationship that fills you up with someone you just love to be around, just someone that, you settle. Does that make sense? You limit it. And limitation, I can spot a limited end result very easily. It's like, oh, what do you really want? And they say, oh, just this, it's like, just that will do. So no, what do you really want to go for? What you really want to go for can be scary because it can sound big to the ego, but it's what you really want, so go for what you really want. That's limitation. The next one in the order of the book is others' opinions. Others' opinions. So others' opinions, you're only creating based on what other people think. Now, this sounds similar to trying to resolve a negative belief of I don't belong. However, it's different. This is a person that creates through consensus. When they're going to go for something, they ask everyone else what they think. You see, they never just have a decision on their own. It's like there's always a committee. And then they divide the committee up. Different people have different weights. And, and then they find the average, and then that's how they decide. They're so scared of just committing themselves. They only create through consensus. They never stand on their own 2 feet and say, this is what I'm going to go for. This is me. I'm the creator. This is what I'm doing. It's always, what do you think, to their husband or wife, and you think best friend, and you think mom or dad or kid or whatever it is. And they have this group. They defer all the power to the group. Does that make sense? So they're not being powerful. And the reason why they do it is because if it doesn't work out, it's not really their fault. It was everyone else said that. They just get to blame their friends and their family for being incorrect. You see, they don't take responsibility. Yeah, Mark says, I did that for years and disguised it as mentorship. Yeah. please, Mr. Guru or Mrs. Guru, please tell me what I should do. You know, please tell me. Please tell me what is it? What is my next? What should I focus on in life? Because you're more powerful than me. Make sense, eh? So they only create based on others' opinions. So anytime you're choosing, and you feel the need, well, I better. What do these other people think? You can still ask them. That's no problem. But if you're only creating things because of what they think and what they say, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. Okay, next one. This one is one that I did a lot, which is indirectness. Indirectness. Okay, indirectness is when we think we got to get this to get that. Who can give me an example of indirectness? I've got to have this in order to have that. I remember I had this one client one time, and he came to me for business coaching, and he was like, "Chris, I need to triple my business." I was like, "All right, let's go." Said, "Why do you need to triple your business?" And he said, "Because I need to be able to have time with my family, and the only way to do that is I need to make a lot more money so I can employ someone to take my role." And I was like, "Okay, just humor me. Why don't you just choose to have time with your family?" How could you do that? After a long conversation, we realized if he just got rid of half his clients, he has more than enough money to be able to pay the bills. He'd have way more time, and he could go spend time with his kids now. It was all just this made up thing that he thought he had to do. He thought he had to go build this big thing to finally have a huge amount of money to pay off everything he needed to pay off, then finally do it. But if he just got rid of a bunch of people, kept it small and tight, and reduced his hours down massively, he could just have it now and have everything that he really wanted. Now, he didn't have to wait, but he was going indirect, and it was a fair assumption. I mean, like, it wasn't, as I say it, it sounds a little bit obvious, but it wasn't obvious. It was not obvious just to let go of a bunch of his clients and let go of people and completely downsize. And it was completely scary to him, but it was obvious. It was obvious. It was. So a lot of times we think we've got to get this to get that. But if we say, well, what if I could just go for that? What would that be like? And this is a big thing when you're restructuring your life. What if I could just go for that? How would that be? How could I have that now? Instead of this loop that I've created to get there. We create many loops. Many people say, I got to go lose weight before I can start being good on video, because I need to be good on video so then I can do this, to do this. And they have this whole worked out situation. Instead of saying, I want that, and going for it. You see it a lot in relationships. You see it a lot in business. You see it a lot in families. They're not just going for what they want. They're not just saying, I want to create a happy and connected family. They're saying, well, I want to have kids who get A's and B's, or get this, and they go all of these things. They're very indirect, very confusing to the superconscious about what they really want, because they're only telling themselves that they want this. Makes sense? A lot of people go, well, I need to make all this money so I can travel. Just choose to travel and choose what you want to do. Figure out how that could be. You'll notice things that might turn up. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. One of my favorite topics. Okay, so default is the last one. Default. Creating through default. Default. Default is when someone opts to have no choices in life. And they just say, well, I'll just surrender. The problem is that if you don't have any tension in your life, you will get pulled into other people's fields and other people's tension structures, won't you? And you'll go, how did I end up here? I didn't choose this. You ended up here because you didn't choose anything. But one of the worst things you can do is have nothing you're creating. Because if you've got no tension, if you're not moving towards something, you're going to get swallowed up into someone else's thing, and you might not necessarily like that. Does that make sense? It's like a river. If you don't choose where the river's going to flow to, the river's just going to take you where it wants to take you. Does that make sense? So having no choices. And that's called default. That's called default. So there's a summary. Now, we're going to do an exercise on this about finding what we really love. Because your life is your masterpiece. You get to create it. There's nothing wrong. You don't need to react. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't need to fix a negative belief. You don't need to ask other people what they think you should create. It's not their responsibility. You don't need to limit it. It could be whatever it is that you want it to be, but it can't be specific. So this is exactly what I want it to be. There's no point having none, because you may as well just give up life then if you don't have any, and you're going to end up in some terrible places, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe you end up in great places, but it's not worth the risk. You need to ask yourself, without any of these edits, what would I love? What would I love? What would I just love? So we're going to go into it. We're going to work on the choice of a life I love. And you can completely love your life right now and be creating things, experiences, memories that you love. You see that? It's not that you can still be completely happy and satisfied and in love with the moment and asking the question, now what would I love to create? By creating more of what you love, it doesn't diminish that you already love your life now. Because we're not in reaction to anything. We're in creation. We're in creation. Who gets it? Who gets it? You love the now, you love where you're at, and you'd also love to experience that. It's just a different flavor. I'd love to taste a bit of that. It's just a different flavor. 2 cars get you from A to B pretty much the same, but the ride could be completely different. That's what you're choosing. You're still going to get to where you want. You're still going to end up at the end. But it's like you're sitting down at a beautiful restaurant, and you're there. You're the self-conscious, limited perspective. You get to taste whatever the waiter brings, and whatever the waiter's like you're unconscious. The superconscious is back there like the world's most amazing chef going, I can dish up anything for you. You just got to choose, but I can't give you all of it because you don't want all of it. You don't want every single Indian dish, every single Chinese dish, everything in between, every pizza, every pasta, you don't want it all to come out all at once and trying to eat it all at once. You want to taste things. You want to try different things, but they're all going to have you be satisfied in life. And it doesn't matter which one. It's your choice. In fact, you can even get some really bad things if that's what you choose to focus on. That's what we get to say. We get to dial it up and say, that's what I want. Take the action. Ask and you shall receive. Follow through on it. Take the correct action. Bring it into reality. But you get to choose. We simply don't want an orchestra to play every single instrument in any way they want all the time. We want to be the conductor of our life, the superconductor, the super conscious conductor of what we want to experience. So let's do it. Let's do a choice. Let's do a choice. When I say, what would you love to create? When I say, what would you love to create? If you were to just to really sit with that, what would I love to create? More than anything, what would I love? What comes to mind? More than anything, what would you love? What would you love to create? Type it in the chat box if you'd like. What would you love to create more than anything at all? Yeah, what would you love? Someone says a life I love, but yeah, but you already have that. What in it? What's in it? To travel where? What would you love to create? I want you to think of something that you would just love to create for no reason. None of these serious things. What would you just love to create? Wealth and health, come on. What do you love? What would you love? Wealth and health is like saying, just chef, bring me anything. Just dump me anything here. Hey, what would we love? Beautiful, Julie. Which ones, Raja? What would you love? That's nice, Joe. Thanks, Joe. Perfect card. Cool. Nice, Rita. Nice, Kathy. Let's just have fun today, choosing something we would just love to create for no reason. For no reason, just because life's here to experience something we would love. Now, if you choose that, you say, I would love to travel more. Well, inherent in that may be that you'll need to have a business that allows you to do that. But by choosing what you'd really love, you focus on where you're going. Does that make sense? Other things are going to have to fall in place for that to happen, true? But by going into it and having it and experiencing it, you pull everything else towards it. Make sense? So I just want everyone to choose something you would just love today. Not because you think it will help others, or not because you want to be famous, or not because that will get you out of the financial stress you're in now, or that will be impressive, or that will be this, or blah, blah. Just let it all go. Just let it all go. Let it all go. And just, what would I love? What would I love to create? We're just going to have one each. We're going to choose one each. We're gonna step into it. We're gonna create it. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Very cool. My mentor, 2 weeks ago, she asked me a question and she said, Chris, why not die? Chris, why not die? I said, what do you mean? She goes, no, it's a very positive question. Why not die? And my first response was, oh, well, because that would be painful or whatever. She's like, oh, okay, why not die? And I was like, oh, I don't know, I guess other people might be sad. She goes, well, for you, why not die for you? And I was like, why not die? Man, that's a powerful question. Why not die? For what reason to live is really the question. For what reason? It's like, for what reason to live? I was like, for what reason? And I was like, well, to live. And she goes, well, what is that? What is it? And I was like, well, I love teaching. I love spending time with my wife. I love creating. I love. She goes, okay, cool. So why not die? And I was, so what is it? What is it? And I just sat with it, and it was so beautiful, because sometimes we take things so serious. But we're all choosing to be here. So what are we going to live? What are we going to live? What are we going to live through? What are we going to experience? And that's the question I'm asking you. What would you love? What would you love? So let's create it. Choose one thing that you've written out or thought about today that you would just love to create, because why not? Why not? You just would love it. No other reason. Beautiful. When you've got the one thing, let's step into the reality and the visualization of having it now. Everyone ready? So we'll do step 2. So choose one just for the fun of it. Just for the fun of it. Just one thing. Let's create. Let's create this. So in order to create, we must step into it in our mind and visualize it, become it. What we're going to do as we become having this end result, okay, is I'm going to guide you into experiencing it, okay? As you start to experience, I'm going to get you to get your left hand and squeeze your right wrist when you really start to feel the emotion. Squeeze it, okay? So everyone gets it. So I'm going to step you into having it, feeling it, and then we're going to anchor our unconscious to the experience of having it. Okay, it's very simple. You just take your left hand and your right wrist, unless you've got a sore left hand or right wrist, or you don't have a left hand or a right wrist, which is possible, then do something else that is a physical pressure point on the external part of you. Okay, and I'll let you know. I'll say, and just squeeze your wrist out. Okay. So everybody just close your eyes and tune in for a second. Just close your eyes and tune in to the end result that you have just decided you're going to create for no other reason. So close your eyes. Close your eyes. Let all the learnings from today, just allow everything to go and just experience yourself in the moment. Wherever you are, sitting or lying or standing, wherever you are on this call, and just notice the moment. Allow yourself to notice the moment. Notice where you are. Notice your breathing, what's around you. Just allow yourself to relax. And now we use a creative visualization to step into the end result of having that choice. In your mind, claim your choice. I choose the end result of, and it feels like, and step into it. Experience the moment of having that choice. What would it feel like to have it now? What would it be like to be that now? Really allow yourself to experience the sounds, the feelings, the noise around you, inside of your head, your breathing. What would it be like to have that now? And go ahead and squeeze your wrist and allow yourself to feel it. What other possible things would you be doing? Allow yourself to go into the moment and feel it. What would it feel like? And take that feeling and make it bigger. What other things make you feel this way? How good does it feel? Just allow yourself to be in the moment. Choose it. I choose the end result of, and it feels like, When I do this, I just allow it to be there. So I'm going to guide you. This is how I do it. I choose the end result of a best-selling book that changes the world, and it feels like love and gratitude. It feels like purpose, and it feels like expansion. It feels like I'm making a difference. It feels like contribution. And so when you go into it, allow yourself to just let the feelings be there and claim the feelings and build them up. Leave your anchor on. How does it feel to have this now? It feels like what? I choose the end result, and it feels like take a big breath and take your anchor off your hand, off your wrist, and come back to the group. How you feeling? How you feeling? How's that? That's how to make a choice. That's how to make a choice. That's how to ensure that your unconscious knows where you're going. The self-conscious picks it out of the ether, then the unconscious aligns up with it. This is being it to see it. This is becoming it before it comes to be. This is stepping into that end result of what it is. I'm thrilled, Donna. I do love it. I love just being like, with it. Like, yes. Get into it. Be it. Be it. Everything is created twice, once in the invisible, in the field, brought through your emotions, and then into reality. Yes. Just because we choose it. Now, the next step, step 3, compared to that, what's the current reality like? So compared to that, which you're moving towards, what's the current reality like? Let's get the second point. Everything's created with 2 points. What's the current reality like? Now we've done this, we need to pull it. So what's the current reality like? And just allow yourself to acknowledge the current reality. What's it like? How does it feel? How's the current reality? How is the current reality? You know, you might have a blank canvas ready to be painted on. You might have things that need to be let go of so it can become blank, so you can start creating your masterpiece. But just acknowledge, in the current reality, what resistance is there to being that? What thoughts, feelings, and emotions block you just being it? If you were to give yourself a number out of 10 about how much resistance there is in your current reality to being that, with 10 meaning you're completely blocked, not allowed to be it, and 0 is, no, I can be it, no problem. How would you rate yourself? We're going to do recode. We're going to do recode. I'm assuming everyone has done recode on here. And so just reminding you all that recode is a beautiful process working in the field. Your end result is at the end of a river, and you've created blockages, dams, sticks and stones and boulders to stop the flow, because on some level you feel that it's unsafe to be there. Yet anything you've not tried before is unsafe. But if you choose it, if you remove the blocks, you're allowed to be it. It was you, your self-conscious, your superconscious and unconscious working together to put the blocks in the way. All resistance was useful at one time, and we're allowed to move it. We're superconscious. We're superconscious. So we're going to have some fun in the superconscious field. So whenever you're ready, close your eyes and choose to have a great recode. If you're a coach on here and you're just wanting to observe the recode, please give good energy to everyone going through and having a good process today. So close your eyes, choose to get the most out of the recode, choose to experience yourself as super conscious and just feel into your heart. Just feel into your heart and allow yourself to connect to the field. Give me permission to connect to your superconscious. Feel into your heart and acknowledge yourself as a creative energy, far more than just a body. Just allow yourself to be superconscious. Just expand your mind, connect to your heart, and give me permission. Just in your mind and your heart, I give Chris permission. There you are. I give Chris permission to connect to my superconscious today for treatment. Just choose to be superconscious. I choose to be connected to the superconscious. I choose to experience myself as that. It's all you need to do. And then let it go. Choose to give me permission. I'll refer to the energy in the group field as superconscious. We use muscle testing to know what we should work on. Superconscious, are you there? Yep. Superconscious, do you understand the treatment process and do all aspects desire treatment? Please explain the treatment process is easy, safe, and increases satisfaction, decreases pain in life. If the boulder is too big to be treated completely today, let's just chisel away a small piece and treat that. Thank you. Superconscious, please create the perfect treatment plan. Superconscious, see the choice, this amazing choice, this beautiful why not choice, just because choice. Yes. Do you see the resistance? Yes. Yes. It's a fun field today. Superconscious, please treat all identity beliefs. What this identity believes it is. Please treat those beliefs and do a massive change history as needed. Superconscious, please treat rules passed down from family. Please treat rules, societal and familial rules about how it must be. Please treat the massive change history as needed. Thank you. Superconscious, please treat fears and anxieties of getting it wrong, of coming up short, of failing. Please treat all of those in the perfect order, in the perfect way. Thank you. Superconscious, there's an unwanted outcome that might happen if we are to go for this end result. As a group, we're more scared of this outcome than we are committed to the end result. What's causing this resistance to this outcome? There's a disbelief in our ability to bounce back from, the outcome. There's a disbelief in our ability to bounce back from, the outcome. There's a disbelief in our ability to bounce back from, the outcome. There's a disbelief in our ability to bounce back from, the outcome. There's a disbelief in our ability to bounce back from, the outcome. There's a disbelief in our ability to bounce back from, the outcome. There's a disbelief in our ability to bounce back from, the outcome. There's a disbelief in our ability to bounce back from, the outcome. There's a disbelief in our ability to bounce back from, the outcome. There's a disbelief in our ability to bounce back from, the outcome. There's a disbelief in our ability to bounce back from, the outcome. There's a disbelief in our ability to bounce back from, the outcome. There's a disbelief in our ability to bounce back from, the outcome. There's a disbelief in our ability to bounce back from, the outcome. There's a disbelief in our ability to mistake. There's other things. Superconscious, do you see everything that's involved in that fear of the unwanted condition? Yeah, there's a part-time personality or multiple. Superconscious, are you able to, please treat all part-time personalities, events, judgments, definitions, future events related to this unwanted outcome. Please treat and clean up the whole timeline, doing a massive change history as needed. Thank you. In your mind, there's 2 points: the end result you're creating and where you are now. I want you to imagine them like 2 ends of a Google Maps journey. Or an Uber Eats journey, or whatever you need to map. 2 ends. And I want you to imagine that one end, the current reality, is the car driving to the other one. And I just want you to imagine visualizing the little car one moving fast and swiftly to the desired reality. And just imagine it happening fast. You can make it go faster, so just turn it up and just, in your mind, imagine those 2 just connecting. Then rewind it back to the beginning and then watch them just connect. Do that 3 times, please. Superconscious, please treat all bumps in the road. Oh, nice. There we go. Grab all the memories we've touched today, reconnect them back to the matrix of the universe. Take a few big breaths and allow yourself to come back into limited reality where we are. And let me know how you're going. I'm giggling because I'm about to do a Q&A with my certification clients and I know they've got questions. What's that? Hey, Julie. Claire, 10-1, fist pump. Hey, Jules. Nice to have you on. Beautiful stuff. I know we went over time. I love you all so much. Book's coming out, guys. It's not far away, and I'm going to super appreciate all of your support on that, because we need to tell the world that you're not broken. You're not broken. You can create whatever you want the way you are, once you realize what you really are. I love you all so much. If you're in the certification, in 15 minutes, we have a Q&A. If you're brand new and still trying to find your way around, we do them every week. So no stress there. Love you all so much. Look out for an email from me next week where you can send it to anyone you like. And if they're willing to buy the ebook for $2, they're going to get a 3-day event and come and experience this work with us. So seems like a good deal to me. I love you all. See you in 14 minutes, certification clients. Have a great week. Stay focused, stay magnetic, and I'll see you at same time, same place next week. Bye-bye. Bye.
Sky Girl.